What is up, guys? So hopefully you have your grid drawn on your reference picture. Today I'm going to talk briefly, we'll see how brief it is, about what I talked about in the beginning of class, seeing the world a little bit differently. Now, I told you that one of my goals for this class was to give you opportunities to see the world like an artist does. So I can tell you that when I look at this portrait of Al Pacino, there are certain things that I see that probably most people don't. And I can guarantee you that if, after you watch this video, if you are able to see what I can see, you can draw what I can draw. You will be able to draw a portrait just about as well as I am able to do it. So, I have a piece from that portrait that I've copied and then removed. That's a piece of Al Pacino's face. Can you tell what part it is? Do you see it? What if I rotate it? What if I rotate it again? Can you tell where this belongs? What if I rotate it again? Do you think you know? To me, the body part that most looks like is an eye. If you guessed eye, it's a good guess, but you're absolutely wrong. It's actually a part of his nose. And if I put it here, can you see it now? What if I take that away? Do you see that shape now? Do you see where it is within the rest of that picture? What if I take this piece and I slide it where it's supposed to be? Now the portrait's not laying flat. But how about now? Do you see where that piece belongs? What if I just isolate it? What if I take this paper and I just show you that one part? Right? So what I'm saying to you is that if you can see that, your self-portrait will be successful. So when I look at a reference picture like this, I'm not looking at eyes, nose, mouth. I'm looking at like this line here. I'm looking at that shape of the nose. I'm looking at these shadows that come up through here. So when I look at somebody or a picture of somebody, here's what I see. Brace yourselves. It's kind of scary. That's what I see when I look at a portrait like the one we're looking at now. Kind of scary. And right now, if you are looking at this drawing that I've done, and you're saying, I can see how that looks like a person, you're able to do that because your brain is doing a lot of work. My brain is doing a lot of work to make that look recognizable as a human being to us. By itself, not one of those shapes looks like a part of Al Pacino's face. But together, they create these forms, and it makes it look realistic. So if you can see the dark shapes, the dark gray shapes, the black shapes, the light gray shapes, the white shapes, if you can see all those shapes separate of one another, like I have drawn here, you're going to have success. So on my self-portrait reference picture, I've actually, you can't see it. So this is tissue paper overlaying my reference picture. Let me turn my light box on so you can see a little bit more of the portrait. What I've done on my reference picture is I've actually taken a pencil and I've outlined all of those areas where I see values change, where I see the shapes of those values. And the reason I did it on tracing paper so that you can actually see on this video. So in real life, you wouldn't have this sheet. You would just have what you did in pencil. But you can see, like, all of these shapes represent the shape of a value area. So the teeth, like the shape of those teeth, those don't look like teeth. Like, look at this line. That doesn't look like a line of a teeth. Over here, I can kind of see the gum line a little bit, but over here, boy, it turns messy. But when I'm done, it's gonna look right because my brain's gonna do some of that work. I can see I missed a couple spots up here, so I can see there's a little bit of a dark spot that goes like that and like that. But anyways, on your reference picture, you'll take a pencil, and I don't know, yeah, there we go. You can kind of see that. So you can see how I've got those, like the wrinkles on his face. I've outlined those. I've outlined that highlight on his cheek. And over here, there's a lot of lines, like by his nose, on the side of his nose. You can see all those extra lines that I drew there. And even in the darker areas, even though it's hard to see on my reference picture, you can see how the graphite is kind of shiny. So don't worry about not being able to see your reference lines. You will be able to see them. As long as you can see those shapes, though, that's what I'm talking about, those shapes. If you can see those shapes, you can draw what I draw. And that's it. People don't believe me when I tell them that. And that's what I'm talking about. People say, I can't draw. I'm not a good drawer. No, you're not a good looker. That sounds like an insult, but it's not. It's just you don't know what you're looking for. So hopefully this helps. And like I said, before you start actually drawing your self-portrait, go through and outline those spots where the shapes change. This highlight on his lips, this darker shadow here on the like more lefternly side of his face. If you can see those shapes separate from the rest of the portrait, you're gonna do outstanding.